Welcome to the Director's Podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to take you guys back in time to where it all began for me, when I first started in the entertainment industry. When I was young, I always wanted to be an actor. And the crazy thing about it is that growing up in Florida, it's not something that has an industry for that. So when I was young, I would basically, with my family, I would always, kind of entertain everybody. I was, of all my cousins and my sister and all the people that I know, even my friends, I was always the outgoing one, the one that would, when we go out anywhere, I'd be the first one to communicate with everyone. And I guess it's translated to my life now. So one of the things that was fun about entertaining people was just making people laugh, putting on a character that kind of can connect with somebody. And that was the cool part about this whole character or kind of aura that I encompassed. So the amazing part about it was that I would kind of imitate Jim Carrey when I was younger. He was one of my favorite actors when I was younger. And I mean, I didn't know, actors at that time. You just watched like movies like The Mask and Liar Liar was later, but I would watch, like I said, The Mask and Live in Color, the edited version, not the raw version. Sometimes I snuck in the raw version when my parents wasn't looking, but it was kind of cool. So basically, what I would do is I would imitate a lot of actors. One of my favorite movies of all time when I was younger was Indiana Jones, and it's funny. I actually have a picture of my face in Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones' body. Like, I want to, maybe one day I'll actually post that out and show everyone that, I got the whip in my hand and the hat, and it's kind of cheesy, but I always wanted to be Indiana Jones. He was the adventurer, I always wanted to act, and if I was gonna act in a movie, I wanted to be Indiana Jones. I wanted to crack the whip and hear the theme song by John Williams, and it was a small little dream of mine. But as you can see, when I was younger, I always had that entertainment bug in me, no matter what it was. I would hang out with people, and it's just something I would love to do. It was my whole world in that sense. So as I grew up and I got older, I wanted to pursue it, but during my teenage years, I kind of got shy. And I was like a little shy, kind of afraid to do certain things and go into it. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Everyone gets shy, but I wasn't ready. I went to college. I got my bachelor's, and once I graduated, I actually took a couple acting classes, but I really wasn't into it yet. It's the year, I can't remember the year, but the year that they were shooting Step Up Revolution down here in Miami is the year I really got into the industry. And what was cool about being on Step Up Revolution was the fact that I was just an extra. Like, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I'm in a movie. I'm like everybody else, like, oh, this is so dope. This is so cool. It was something that was different. It was different. You saw the big cameras. I mean, there wasn't really big actors in it, but the fact that, you were like, all right, we're on a movie set. We're actually seeing what a movie is like. So it was something really, really cool. I did a whole bunch of extra work with one of my talent agents. I actually got a talent agent. I learned I had to get headshots. I had to get all these things in before I even could start being an actor. So that was something interesting. That was a whole process. So I had graduated college and I was looking for a job, and I was like, you know what? I want to follow my dream. Consequently, what's something that a lot of people don't know about me is that when I was younger, not just acting was something big for me or just the industry. I actually was an avid football player. And the crazy thing is I love playing football. I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be in the NFL, and I trained to be in the NFL. And there was an incident that kind of pushed me towards the film industry. And you remember I told you earlier that I was really shy. And during that shy period of time, I was playing sports. And that's what helped me get over being shy, because as soon as I went to college, my shyness kind of went away. When I graduated, that's when everything started to move forward. Consequently, during college, I got injured. I tore my ACL and I broke my left ankle. And I guess, your foot, I came back 100%. I tried out for a couple of teams and I went to, like one of the arena leagues, and I made the team, but I didn't want to play. It just wasn't for me. It really, really wasn't for me. And that's what pushed me to the film industry. I graduated from FIU with my bachelor's, and then I need to get a job. So I didn't want to play football anymore. So I was like, okay, that's not really a job. I'm not going to train for that anymore. So I remember what my original dream was: to be an actor, to follow that dream from since I was a kid. And the cool thing about it is, as a child, you are a canvas, a blank canvas. You can paint your own picture. And when I was younger, I painted that picture of myself as an actor and working in the film industry. And that was the coolest thing ever, because at that time, you're thinking about probably the oddest thing on the planet. And it's like, everyone's out here is like, oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a policeman. I want to be a fireman. And those are amazing, great jobs. But that just wasn't for me. I wanted to be an actor. So I started doing extra work. I got on a couple of sets. I got a couple of roles, small roles in different films. And it was pretty cool. Just going through that whole aura of just being on set, being part of something that not everybody gets to do. And I mean, remind you, this is extra work. This is extra work. This is not like you're not being seen. So the interesting part about it was the fact that I got to work on all those films, and I got a love for it. But the fact of the matter of working on those films, it taught me more than anything, because working on those films as an extra, I really wasn't the person that they were going to put in front. Like I would go on some set, and all of a sudden they would be like, "Oh, hey, you're an extra, of course, your background." They call us background. And I would be put in the back, like way down the road. I'm like, man, okay, cool. I'm getting paid. I'm on a film set, for a movie or a commercial, whatever. But I'm an extra. I'm being put in the back, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being an extra, but I know to myself that I'm talented. I know I'm talented enough to be a part of that. It really humbled me, because it was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. Because being an extra, it made me push forward to want to be a lead actor. Even though I was told that I couldn't be a lead actor. I couldn't be this person. I was told that a lot. People looked at me, looked at my body, looked at my face. And it's like, oh, well, you're no Brad Pitt. You're no Will Smith. You're not this. Your body's not like six packed up and all that stuff. But it was tough at times, but I knew to myself I had talent. I knew I had talent. But sometimes you run into those roadblocks. A little time passed. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go to set. I'm going to get paid. And they would, like I said, they would push me in the back. So what I started to do is I started to get cool with the crew members. And I figured, you know what? If I'm not going to be, hey, I'm getting paid, so why not, do some learning. So I would, sneak off and go to the back and, talk to the crew members, get cool with them. And I would go by where the director is and start looking. I'm like, oh man, this is pretty cool. Why does the DP do this? Why does he do this? It was so cool, like just learning. Why is the sound guy there? What does this do? All these different things, learning why a director is going to use this shot, that shot. What's an insert? What's a pickup shot? What's a B-roll? All those little things I learned on set. I got paid. So that was kind of my school that I learned. Like, it's insane that I actually learn stuff. Most people don't learn stuff. Most people go on set, and what they're doing, they're getting paid, and they're networking with people, and they're saying, hey, we have a project. We'd like you to do it, to work on it. Oh, we want you to work on this project with us. And that's what happened when you're an extra, which is cool. Nothing wrong with it. But I was like, you know what? I want to be something bigger. I want to be a lead actor. I want to be the marquee guy. I know I have the talent to do it, and I'm going to show people that I have the talent to do it. So my friend at the time came from LA. He told me he was doing a movie, and he said, I got a small role for you in there. So I was like, all right, cool. So I flew out to LA. First time being in LA, I was just so amazed at everything. I actually joined this place called Central Casting, which is like the extras network out there. Like, whenever you want to be in a film that they're filming, they go to Central Casting. So I'd go to Central Casting. I would call them up. I would call Central Casting up and listen to what films are going to be, what they're casting for and all this. And you would go and you would submit yourself, and it would tell you where to go. So I was so happy. I'm like, oh man, I'm in the entertainment capital of the world. I'm going to make my big break. I'm going to do this, plus I'm doing that film. And, I went to set, And I was like, wow, this is really cool being a part of this whole aura of the film industry. Like, I'm on set. I'm like, oh man, this time I actually have lines. I'm actually being seen. It's a movie that I promise you guys, if you're listening here, you probably will not see because when I first did the film, honestly, like, this is my opinion, it was fun, it was a great experience, but I didn't like what I was doing in the film, so it's like I don't think you guys will ever see that. But it's okay though. It's okay. It's a great experience. I chalked that one up to experience. And we were up in the mountains, and it was like a 5 day shoot. There was a 5 day shoot in a place called Corona, and it was up in the mountains. And I'm up there thinking, like, this is so cool. This is something that I would never have imagined myself being a part of. And while we were up there, I remember the location individual has a meeting with everyone and telling them that, listen, if you go out at night, because it's pitch dark outside, they say if you go out at night, make sure everyone knows where you're at, because there's mountain lions up there. And I'm sitting there like, mountain lions? We're in the middle of nowhere. Like, it takes 15 minutes to get to the next house, far less the city. And I'm saying, like, okay, mountain lions. I am not going out at night. I said, I looked at myself and everybody else, and I'm like, they see me, they're going to be like, hey, Thanksgiving dinner over here. Oh, okay. They're all appetizers, but he's the meal. So I'm sitting here like, whoa, this is insane. But it was a great experience. I learned a lot on that set. I learned more being on there as an actor and a crew member than anything. I learned what it takes to do a film, and that's why it was a great experience. All great experiences have a positive and they have a negative. The positive was I learned. I learned so many things that I could use today. The negative about that is what really pushed me to do what I've done so far. One night we were sitting around a table, and we just wrapped up one of our scenes, and everyone's just getting to know everybody. This is probably like our second or third day of filming, and everyone's asking questions like, hey, where are you from? One girl's like, oh, I'm from Pasadena. The other girl's, I'm from Venice. I'm from Brentwood. I'm from all these different places, but they're all located in California. So I'm sitting to myself, I'm like, I mean, they're within distance of Los Angeles. So the crazy thing is they get to me, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm from Miami. The room gets quiet. And I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at everybody, and like everyone's like, oh, Miami. There's no talent in Miami. Miami's just a vacation spot. And at the time, I kind of brushed it off and like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm just here doing this job, and I'm done after this. But the part that really stood out to me is the fact that actually hurt. I didn't realize how much it hurt until I was leaving Los Angeles. I was flying back home to Florida, and I started crying on the plane. A 5 hour flight, I started crying. Like, I literally, tears were coming to my eyes because that was my dream. And I know they were I know they weren't really trying to be mean, but it really hurt. It really taught me a lesson. It was like, wow, sometimes people can ruin your dreams. And I was like, wow, this is what I wanted to do since I was a child. And now these individuals that, I mean, they had credits. They were on films, known films. And I thought to myself, I was like, if they're thinking like that, what is a producer thinking? What is a director thinking when they see me? And I literally cried. I came home and I just went in my room and I cried. I mean, I know it's tough to say, but that experience opened my mind to something. It taught me that, you know what? No matter what anybody says, no matter what anyone told me, I'm going to make it. I'm going to show them that there's talent down here. And that was my main set. Like, that incident is what pushed me even more to the edge. And that's when I wrote my first film called I Before Thee. My first feature film. I stayed in my room for the whole night, maybe 2-3 days, and I wrote the script I Before Thee. And that's what was so amazing about that. When I wrote that script, it was like, wow, I can't believe I did this. I sent it to my friend Rajesh, who was in college, and he read the script, and he was like, man, this is a beautiful script. Like, wow, this is really good. I started pre-production on I Before Thee. I was still going to acting classes, and I was learning, at the South Florida School of Acting, with one of my teachers was Todd Bruno and Michael G, and man, I forgot her name, but I'm sorry if you're listening to this. I apologize. Sarah, there you go. Her name is Sarah. Sarah was one of my favorite teachers, and she taught us a lot, in acting class. And then, so when I came to casting for the roles in the film, I basically wanted to cast my classmates because my classmates, one thing I learned about acting class, which is something that's great, is that we're all taught the same thing. So we all knew what our disadvantages and what our advantages were. So that was really cool, because we all knew each other. And our chemistry on the film looked amazing because we all acted together before. So it was great to do I Before Thee, and it was something that I'm thankful that I was able to do, because not a lot of people can say that they've done a full length feature film. To far less have the film actually distributed on a major platform such as Amazon, Walmart. There's a whole bunch of other ones. I can't name them, but those are the major ones that everyone knows. It was an amazing time to be a part of that, and it was a great, it was something great to be a part of. And I learned a lot, during the first film. In the fact that one of the things that I made sure of after the film or during the film process was that we started a company. And I had during that time I was getting my MBA from Nova Southeastern University. So at the time getting my MBA, I learned quite a few things about starting a business. Because I've always it's always something that I figure everyone should start a business sometime in their life, whether it makes it or whether it fails. You should start a business because it's something that's a great learning experience for anyone growing in life. We started Abelto Film Productions, which was a production company at first. I started with one of my friends at the time and my other friend, Rajesh. That was a fun time, actually. That was something that's cool because not a lot of people can experience something like that. For example, when we were the production company, it was so cool because I call that stage the portfolio stage. What I mean with the portfolio stage is, as a filmmaker or whatever you want to call it, you have to go through a portfolio stage because you have to go. That stage is about just honestly just doing a lot of free stuff. And when I mean free stuff, you're building your portfolio. So we would say yes to a lot of things, like everything that came across us. Yes, we're gonna do it. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this. We were building our portfolio. We did a lot of videos, a lot of stuff during that portfolio, and that was the great part because you were getting better and better. You're learning on the fly. You're gaining footage. You're gaining clientele. During that time, even though it's free work. But as time went on, it was like, oh man, we're not getting paid, but this is fun. And I'm not saying getting paid is not fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying getting paid is not fun. But the thing is at that time, there's no worries. It's like we just shoot this. Either they like it or they don't. There's no like, okay, listen, I don't like it. I want my money back. It's like, oh, I don't envision this, and it was just a different time period. But of course, eventually, we all wanted to get compensated. So what we did is, after a while, we did a couple of music videos. We started to get paid and stuff, and we started to build a company. We came in one day and we were like, you know what? We shouldn't be a production company anymore. I think we should transition to become a studio. And that's the time when I Before Thee was getting ready to be released because we had to go through the distribution stage, and we needed to become a full-fledged company, a full-fledged studio. We became Able to Film Entertainment, and basically it just ballooned everything. We released our first film, first feature film worldwide under that umbrella, and it was amazing because it was something we never thought was possible. Because when we premiered it at Regal Cinema Sawgrass, it was an amazing night. It was something cool. Everyone got to see it, and the only reason why we distributed it worldwide was because of the reception of the film. People loved it so much. They're like, man, this is something that should be out there. It's giving a positive message, and it was a great film. Not everybody thought it was great, of course. Everybody, it's subjectively. I did read some of the reviews, and I was like, okay, I totally understand. Everyone has their opinion, which is it's understandable. I mean, I read all of them, which they tell you shouldn't read all the reviews because when you read all the reviews, everything gets a little crazy. I remember Rajesh telling me that he was like, "Man, this is insane. Like you should don't read anything." As Able to Film was growing, unfortunately, one of our partners wanted to branch out and go on his own, which is fine. It's beautiful. I gave him every positive affirmation. Like, listen, man, you want to start your own stuff, man, go ahead. I'm never going to hold anybody back from achieving their dream or achieving something. So now it was me and Rajesh running the Able to Film, and also Sarah. Sarah, I didn't forget you. Sarah, she's my publicist. She's the one who makes sure I do the right thing. But that's Rajesh's wife. I love you guys. You guys are the greatest. Me and Rajesh, still ran Able to Film. We still run it today. We've become a studio to the fact that we're putting out our own stuff, our own content, our own things. Everything we do is Able to Film quality now. That's one of the things we always have gotten through to, is just the quality of work. And that's what I love about it. I make sure that when we are wearing that seal of Able to Film, that we have the quality. And that's one of the things that I love about Rajesh, my business partner. He definitely pushes me to the limit more than anything. I love the fact that me and him are doing this together as a dynamic duo, the Batman and Robin. And the cool thing about that is that we know when we need to take a step back. So, for example, when it comes to all the legal, the licensing, the anything business related, Rajesh takes the lead. I say, man, I'm following you, man. I'll be Robin today. And then when it comes to the filming aspects, the creative balance, the coming up with ideas, and just putting something to there, Rajesh is like, it's like, hey man, I'm gonna take a step back. I want you to create, and that's what makes Able to Film really, really amazing. Like, we were able to basically do all those things, and that's what I love about it. It was just something amazing and fun, and our dynamic duo is just something that it's unbreakable. So that's the crazy cool part about it. I have a lot more stories that I could tell you guys, from back then and what we've gone through and all that. But I kind of summed it up just to show you that there is hope, there is possibilities. You can do anything you want. You can achieve anything just by working hard, and not just working hard. Don't let anyone steer you from what you feel is right for you. So I want to end this today by giving you guys a little positive thought. Like I said earlier, hope, but you got to keep that hope alive by pushing your drive. The amazing part about that is that everyone can do it. There's people out there that need to hear this, that to need to see the failures. You can't just think about all the positives yet. You got to fail first. In order for you to make it to the next level, you have to see your failures. If you don't see your failures, how are you going to prepare for your success? And that's my message today. You need to see your failures in order to see your successes, and be prepared for what comes next. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions or you want to contact me directly, you can contact me on my Instagram, my email. You can even contact Able to Film on its website. And ask away. I'm an open book. You guys can ask any question you want, and if you need advice on anything, I'm always here. So definitely contact me. I'm here to help. That's one of my main bases in life. I want to help. I love helping people, and that's what I'm here to do, to help. So thank you again, and you guys have a blessed day.